Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Aries from Aries Game Productions, and I just went over my review of Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward. But if you want to check that out, it's on my channel. That just got put up. Should be coming up here pretty soon after that. But I already talked about it a little bit on the video, but I feel like Dissidia, all the Dissidia games have a pretty special place in my heart just because I love Final Fantasy. I love kind of the Smash Bros thing that Dissidia has going on, even from the PSP games over to here. It just feels like it's a celebration of, like, really, you know, pretty much over 30 years of Final Fantasy. So which game is better or not, it's pretty much up to your preference. I still prefer Dissidia Duodecim 012. That's probably the best Dissidia that's ever came out. But this game is also actually very special too, because it's one of the first games that, like, I really, like, sunk my teeth into for the online on it, and then just, like, messing around with the characters and the DLC for it. So definitely, it's definitely something that I feel like is very good as far as just what you actually have for each of the characters and everything like that. But for the characters in general too, we're going to go and just look at kind of all of them in an overarching sense. We're going to go to the Spartan match here and just look at the character list. So just kind of going down the list here of all the characters and what they actually can do. Still, in my opinion, this game does a lot of, where are all my characters at? Hold on. Can't do a character review without the damn characters. Where are they at? Bear with me, guys, because I just had all my characters lined up here, and for some reason it is not showing any of them. What the hell? Hold on here. Okay.
Dissidia Final Fantasy.
There we go. Okay, so that probably hopefully fixed it. Let's go into Gauntlet mode and see if it'll actually not fucking screw around with me here. There we go. So we got all our character stuff here lined up now. Now, just going down the list of like characters that I think, and I'm just going to go down the list, so it's not really necessarily going to be in order from worst to best. Warrior of Light. So, Warrior of Light is all-around balanced, very good, has good offense and defense, as you'd expect. He's kind of the poster boy for the OGs like me, growing up playing the games. But Warrior of Light is nasty in this game. Like, he feels good, all of his attacks are really good. He's got a built-in parry to bravery attacks and even HP attacks, which is really good. So Warrior of Light, in my opinion, tier list, pretty high on the damn tier list. I don't know if I would say he's top tier. I would say maybe he's like mid to high tier. Just because he is really good. Party utility is really good. He can definitely, he's like really one of the only characters I feel like in this game that is a tanky feel to him. Like, he can take some hits, but then he can dish them back out too. So, Warrior of Light, definitely higher on the tier list for me. Garland, this guy is disgustingly good. He's been good ever since Dissidia NT came out, and he's just good. All of his HP attacks are good. His bravery attacks go, like, very far. He's got one that's long range, he's got close-up stuff. His EX skill, which I didn't even talk about Warrior of Light skill. EX Warrior of Light skill is very good because he just automatically makes the other person lock on to them, where they can't walk on to anybody else. Garland basically has a like a damage buff, where the more hits you do with him consecutively, the stronger he gets. And I actually do like that mechanic. It fits really well with Garland. But all of his attacks are just awesome. His skins look nasty too. So Garland is definitely top tier. Like this character is amazingly good. Furion. So Furion is what he was, like bottom tier when he first came out. This character couldn't do anything. They actually changed him and patched him a lot to where he is actually very good. Well, no, it's very good. It's kind of relative, but he's a lot better than what he was when he came out because of the patches. So this character is pretty good. Yeah, like if you pick this character, nobody's gonna be able. If you're playing at a party, nobody's gonna be like, "Oh God, you picked Furion, we're all gonna lose." It used to be that way, but it's not the case anymore. It used to be low tier. I would say he's definitely mid tier. Definitely a good mid tier character to like mess around with and be good. Like, EX skill is really good. Blood Rose, I think it's just Blood Rose, but gives him a little bit of oomph for his already kind of lackluster damage. So whenever you have Blood Rose come up, you should just pop it immediately, and then, especially if you're going into confirming hits and everything, really good. Basically, all around, pretty solid character. Definitely not high tier though. Emperor is, I think he is high tier. I think the traps and just his long range stuff and like controlling one-on-one fights really well. He's extremely good. HP attacks are really good. This character is just all around busted. So definitely high tier. His skill, his EX skill is really good too. So all around, very good character. Onion Knight, I would say Onion Knight is definitely mid to high tier a little bit, depending on what job you're choosing. If you go to his mage class, I would say you're stuck at about mid to low tier because there are better casters in the game than he is. But if you're going from knight to ninja, this character jumps up to high tier. This character in ninja form is disgusting. He's got good mobility, he's got good combos, he's got a good moveset. The shuriken alone probably puts him at high tier. The shuriken is just a super annoying attack to get hit by all the time. And if you keep getting hit by it, his teammates are going to come out and fuck you too. So like, it's really good. He's got fantastic moveset. His HP attacks are godlike. Really good character, but since he does have pretty much a useless job class that he can switch to, he kind of stays a little bit of the mid tier for me. That's just where he's at. Cloud of Darkness, the times that I have spent with this character are good, but again, I feel like there are better long-range casters that can eat people alive in this game, and Cloud of Darkness really doesn't do it for me. I think Cloud of Darkness is definitely bottom tier. This character doesn't really have a whole lot besides her EX move and maybe one of her HP attacks that she can spam. Her combos are not very good. They're really clunky and just don't flow very well together. So Cloud of Darkness for me, bottom tier. Don't pick her. I wouldn't. I would pick whoever you want in the game, but I don't usually play as that character just because she's clunky. This character, on the other hand, Cecil, is godlike. Can switch from either in combat, or you can start him out as either one. You can start him out as a Dark Knight or a Paladin. Both of his movesets are good. He has long range attacks that are really annoying and track, either when you're a Dark Knight or Paladin. You use Dark Knight for grounded combat, and you use Paladin for aerial combat. So It's really good, the little switch off that you can do. If somebody's taken to the sky too much, switch to Paladin and bring them down to the ground. Or if they're staying in the air too much, or not even really staying in the air, but they're really focused on ground combat, they really want to stay on the ground, then switch to Dark Knight and pepper them a little bit with your gravity spheres and things like that. HP attacks are kind of weird with Cecil, just because they either switch you to a job class or they are job specific. So, like for instance, Tenebrous Blast can keep you in your same job, but the potency does increase if the job changes in effect, which gives Cecil a little boost for his attacks. So that one, like for this one, Paladin Force, you switch to the Paladin no matter what class you're in. If you're in Dark Knight, you'll switch to Paladin. Soul Eater is the same way. Dark Flame is the same as Tenebrous Blast, except Dark Flame is a little bit iffy. If you use that, I think Cecil automatically just drops mid-match to middle tier. Because if you're using Dark Knight in Dark Flame, then you're sacrificing HP to try to kill the other character, where you could just be a Paladin and not have to do an HP sacrifice, and it actually restores your HP. So, Cecil, really good character, definitely high tier. This character's high tier. He was good in the other Dissidia games. Well, the only one he's been in was, besides this one, was Duodecim. This character's godlike. Good mobility, good combos, range attack that can save your ass if you're getting, peppered with long range attacks. One of his HP attacks just guards against bravery, against like the first part of it, and then you have all of your combo Fang and Claw, Gungnir, Vanquish, all this sort of stuff. It's way too good. This character's way too good. I don't know why they didn't nerf this character. I don't think this character got touched after NT came out. He's literally been good the entire game. Kain Highwind's definitely top tier. Golbez is trash. His HP attacks are good, and his EX skill basically just brings out the dragon. He has got a little pet dragon with him. But if you drop his HP to a certain percentage, all of his spells become useless. So if all you have to do is drop him below 2,000, and he loses his ability to be good in the game, which is the dumbest mechanic I've ever seen. If you want to play a good Golbez, go back and play the PSP versions, unfortunately. He's just not good in this game. He's pretty garbage. Bartz is really good. He's in Golbez is bottom tier. This character's probably sitting at high tier. HP attacks are good. He's got an automatic buff for his EX skill for the amount of jobs that you master with him, and it's just really good to see Bartz actually be good in the game, because I wasn't a big fan of him in the older Dissidia games. This is probably the best he's been with the job classes and upgrading your abilities. So that's why whenever you fight Bartz, you definitely want to end the match as quick as you can. Get rid of him as quick as you can. You don't want him to get all these upgrades. It becomes a nightmare to deal with. Usually if it's another team that has Bartz, you want to end the match as quick as possible. If he's on your team, you want to prolong the match as much as possible, or if you're playing as him, because the more he fights, basically, the stronger he gets. Basically, very similar to Garland, but with this character, it's just not even hitting people. It's just trying to hit them and get your job class upgraded so you can use your good luck charm on everybody. But I think he's definitely top tier. Exdeath, this character's busted, top tier. If you've ever played Dissidia games, I shouldn't have to explain it. He teleports at will. He moves around the field really good. His EX skills are devastating. He's got great damage. Overall, one of the best characters in the game, top tier. Terra is really good. Not as good as she was, I think, in Dissidia Duodecim, because Meteor got kind of nerfed. When this game came out, she was definitely one of the best characters in the game. but Meteor got nerfed and kind of decreased the range and speed of the Meteor, but the character's still pretty good. Still sitting around, you know, kind of up the upper mid-tier of the character list there. Lock Cole, this guy is nasty. EX skill is really useful. You get to use it whenever you want. Pretty much, because you can, I think, actively steal stuff too with Thief. Good combos, good HP attacks, good mobility. Can sync very well with other characters, like with combos and stuff. So this character's godlike. He's definitely top tier. Kefka's still top tier. Definitely one of the best villains in the series, but definitely one of the best characters in the game. One of the best casters. I mean, he decimates people who don't know how to dodge his attacks, and you don't have to know how to deal with Kefka. It becomes a nightmare. His EX skill is amazing. Can like literally turn the tables with his EX skill, so he's just a great character to use, top tier. And then of course, Cloud Strife. This guy hits like a truck, as he should, because he's Cloud. But, you know, Limit Break is a very useful skill. Limit Break combined with Mighty Strikes is probably one of the most busted combinations you can do. I have it with health regen. So if you get hurt, just regen your health, go back into the fight, and you stay in longer. He's Vanguard class too, so I mean, he hits very hard. He can take some hits too, but character's busted. I usually like to put Cloud with Alexander, so he actually has more health, which just makes him very hard to deal with. Good bravery moves, HP moves, of course, are awesome, except for Cherry Blossom. It's really useless, I think. But Cross Slash, Omni Slash, Meteor Ring are still the best skills for him, but definitely top tier, in my opinion. Tifa. Tifa's actually mid-tier in this game. Not as good as Dissidia Duodecim, but still a really good character, really fun character too, if you ever get the chance to just mess around with Tifa. Fantastic character to play with in general. But, my opinion, definitely top tier. No doubt, well, not top tier, but mid-tier. She's definitely mid-tier, no doubt about that. But HP attacks are good, they're decent, but you know, Dolphin Blow is pretty much the best move she has. If you're not using Dolphin Blow, I don't know why the fuck you're playing the character, but still really good character. But just not as good as she once was. Sephiroth, on the other hand, is high tier if you know how to play with him. I see a lot of people online with Sephiroth who just don't know how to follow up combos with this character. So if you're running the bad Sephiroth character, he's like mid-tier, just because his EX skill is really good, HP attacks are good, but overall this character is still busted, as he should be, Sephiroth. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're going with. Squall, whereas I know Leon from Kingdom Hearts. I didn't even play 8 until I played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and that's what got me to end up playing 8, but nasty character, but he's definitely, I would say he's lower mid-tier to bottom tier, because his mechanic in this game is so hard to do, and it's just frustrating that they messed him up to where you actually have to time your button presses with the like chamber burst and the chamber release to actually get your good damage on him. It's just silly. I don't know why they did this to this character, but he's almost unplayable because of that in this game. So he's actually very close to bottom tier in my opinion. Renoa is pretty good. I think she's mid-tier. She's definitely still a really good character, but her EX skill is really good. She's got the little dog that she can send out to, so she's pretty good, but definitely not like amazingly good, I don't think. Ultimicia is great. Most of the villain characters actually are really good in this game. Like Ultimicia is probably arguably one of the best casters. Range for days, good HP attacks, EX skill is boss. So definitely a good character. Like, she's got tons of tools to use. Zidane is kind of stuck in mid-tier. Really interesting character, but he's also got the steal ability too that he can use, but kind of mid-tier. Still a pretty good character all around. HP and bravery attacks are kind of alright, but I mean, even then, like, I don't even have my Zidane all the way leveled up, so I mean, it's just, he's kind of stuck in mid-tier. Kuja is alright. I just always thought Kuja was really weird to play with, but I don't really have an opinion too much on Kuja, just that the times I've played with him, he has been around mid-tier, so that's what I think. Titus, I just don't like this character move list they have for him in the game. I think he's bottom tier. I don't think he's any good at all. I've ran into some decent Titus players online, but I mean, it's 1 in a million. I mean, there are just not too many people that play this character all around, so I think there's a reason for that, just because his moveset sucks. So Yuna is definitely the character you probably want to pick if you want to go like a hero and from 10. She's really good. Mechanics are a little bit harder to understand as compared to like Titus, but she does have some really good abilities, some really good moves that she can throw out the summons. So in my opinion, mid-tier. Jeht is godlike. Dude, this character fucking rocks. This character's dope. I mean, good God almighty. Built-in parry, great damage, good HP attacks, bravery attacks are nasty as hell. And it's just a cool character. Jet's always been a cool character, but he's even cooler in this game because he's actually good. So, definitely good. Shantotto is actually, I think, very high tier to top tier caster. Like, this character's pretty good and annoying to fight. EX skill makes her invincible, and she just gets to do whatever she wants to when she has the EX skill up. And her bravery attacks are really good. HP attacks are alright, but still kind of one of those things where I don't like to play this character, but this character is really good. This character is fantastic. Really good to use in the party too. Camelot, I think this character is really good. I just don't think his mechanic is the best that it could have been. It's really weird. Because you basically have to pick one mode that you want to stay in for the match and then use that. You really don't get to alternate between that, because then you lose your buff. So there's really no reason to switch bravery attacks if you don't want to. HP attacks are still good. EX skill is still good. So in my opinion, a little bit of higher tier character. This character's godlike. Vaan's top tier. He gets 2 HP attacks for no other reason. In the old Dissidia games, you actually got 2 HP attacks automatically. And he's the only character that can do it in the game. There's no other character that has 2 HP attacks, really. You could argue Kain does because of jump, with his jump abilities, but Vaan is the only, like, true carryover from the old school Dissidia games to this one, and I don't know why they did that. I think every character in this game should have 2 HP attacks, but that's why Vaan is really good, because he gets swapped between good HP attacks. So, top tier, pretty good character. Vayne is pretty good too. I don't know if I would put him in top tier. I'd probably put him in mid to high tier, but still a really good character, in my opinion. His bravery attacks are kind of wacky, but once you get the hang of them, pretty good character to go ahead and use. Gabranth, He's better than... Well, no, actually, I take that back. He's not as good as he was in Dissidia and Duodecim. He's just not. Like, he's still a good character. He's probably mid-tier, but Duodecim Gabranth was high tier. He literally got his EX moves anytime he wanted to, and would just mess you up bad. So, Lightning is definitely top tier in this game. Being able to switch from Ravager to combat mode is just devastating. And her moveset's just really good. Her moveset's all around really good for an assassin. So yeah, I mean she's really good. Snow is Snow's a little strange. The more damage he takes, the stronger he gets. So if you don't kill him the first time with your HP attack, he's just becomes really difficult to deal with because he's nasty after that. But if you save up your HP attack and try to kill him that way, he's not a big problem. But because of that, I would say he's high tier, because he's very difficult to deal with. Poor Y'shtola, dude. She used to be so good. I think they fucked with her too much in the patch, and she's damn well near bottom tier for casters now. She used to be godlike, and now she's just kind of iffy. There used to be an exploit with her going into matches and stuff where you would just cheese them, or it was crystal battles. You could just cheese the crystal battles a lot with her, so you would get a whole lot of gil that way, but you can't do that with her anymore. This dude, Xenos, is fantastic in this game. He looks good, he feels good to play with, he's got a pretty neat mechanic, and he's just all around really good. So, I mean, high tier, or even top tier, really. Noctis, top tier, he's really good. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on Noctis, but he's just a really good character. He's got everything you would want from an assassin in this game. Ardyn, really good. Probably, I would say mid-tier. He's not amazing, but I still think he's really good. EX skills a little wanky, but depending on what it is. Ramza, this character's top tier. Best support character in the game. I think he's really pretty much the only support character really in the game that's like consistent. He buffs your entire party. His moveset's pretty good, but only in his buffs, so I think he's high tier, definitely. Or top tier, really. Ace is top tier too. Arguably the best caster in the game, still. But he is just absolute nightmare to deal with, going against. But so that is my tier list for Dissidia NT. Like I said, I think this is probably maybe one of the last videos I make for it. Like I said, it's just I think it's kind of run its course on my channel. We're just making content for it, or just even really talking about the game. But because I think once the PS5 rolls out, they're going to make another Dissidia game where it's not going to be 3v3. It's probably going to go back to 1v1, which will be really good. And they'll have more characters too. They'll put the guy from 16, from Final Fantasy 16 in there, so we'll have that to look forward to. Hopefully there won't be as much DLC too. God. Hopefully they just put the characters in there and get us to do that, but or at least buy it like that. But that's basically all I have for this video. If you did enjoy, or if you think I might have maybe got somebody wrong on the tier list, let me know in the comments below. Or go ahead and, if you do like the video and you want to see some more content on the channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. But in the meantime, I'll see you guys later. Deuces, peace.